Starting Lineup was a brand of action figures originally produced by Kenner, which later became part of Hasbro. These figures typically represented professional sports players and became highly popular among fans and collectors. The beginning, 1988. Starting Lineup was conceived by Pat McInally, a former professional football player who played for the Cincinnati Bengals. McInally was also notable for scoring a perfect score on the Wonderlic test, a test given to NFL players to assess their aptitude. The idea for Starting Lineup came to him while he was shopping for toys and noticed the lack of sports figures for children. He proposed the idea to Kenner, a company already well known for its action figures and toys such as the Star Wars collections. Expansion and growth, late 1980s to 1990s. Kenner launched the first series of Starting Lineup in 1988, featuring Major League Baseball players. Each figure was paired with a collector's card, which added appeal for both children and adult collectors. The initial success of the MLB figures led to expansion into other sports, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, and even Olympic sports figures. The brand's figures were known for their detailed likenesses to the athletes they represented, although they were sometimes critiqued for their lack of articulation and accuracy in the early years. Collectible craze, 1990s. During the 1990s, Starting Lineup figures soared in popularity as sports memorabilia and collectibles became a cultural phenomenon. Limited edition figures, regional variations, and special editions for events like the All-Star Games or the Super Bowl became particularly sought after. Some figures were produced in smaller quantities, making them rare and highly desirable among collectors. Decline and discontinuation, 2000. Despite their popularity in the 1980s and 1990s, interest in Starting Lineup figures began to wane by the late 1990s. The market for sports collectibles became saturated, and newer, more articulated and realistic figures from other manufacturers such as McFarlane Sports Picks began to overshadow Starting Lineup's simpler designs. In 2000, Hasbro, which had acquired Kenner, officially discontinued the Starting Lineup line. Legacy and revival attempts. The legacy of Starting Lineup lives on in the secondary market, where vintage figures are traded among collectors. Hasbro attempted to revive the brand in 2016 with a new line called the Starting Lineup Elite, featuring higher quality figures with improved articulation and details. However, these did not capture the market as the original series had. In 2022, Hasbro announced another revival of Starting Lineup in partnership with Fanatics, aiming to produce new figures that connect with the modern collector base while honoring the nostalgia of the original line. Overall, Starting Lineup figures hold a special place in the realm of sports memorabilia, celebrated for their role in popularizing sports action figures and fostering a community of collectors. Their story reflects broader trends in toy manufacturing and sports marketing, illustrating how fan engagement can extend far beyond the game itself.